Well, hello, dear folks. I'm out on the bike again after a week or so off. I went for a ride with a friend, got back to the city, and we both slipped on the um, cobblestone. We weren't going fast, but we slipped. Um, the cobblestones in the cities in Portugal are very slippery, whether you're walking or riding or using a scooter or whatever. So you have to be extra careful when you brake and turn and whatnot, because slip really quick. So it's October 6 or whatever, 7, and it's been a very hot August, September, October so far. And it looks like the hot weather is going to continue throughout the month. I don't know, but it's unusual for sure. Things are shifting and changing. You can just feel it. I don't know how long it's going to be changing forevermore now. So Gen Z, you're up for a new world, basically. But I listened to Paul Beckwith, who is a climate scientist, and he was talking about tipping points. So I guess from now on, it's tipping points all the way out into the future. So one thing after another. AMOC, rainforest burning off, turning into savanna, grassland, blue ocean events, melting glaciers, melting ice sheets, you name it, having cascading tipping points, effects that are not just exponential, but delta, going up in a straight line, just shifting so quick that you really can't do anything or prepare anything about it. Nobody's going to work on it because we're too busy competing, to have more shit and to sell more stuff. And extremely wealthy people have to get extremely wealthier. So just it's over. You might as well just say, I'm going to enjoy my life and do the best I can. And come what may, you just deal with it over time. I really don't know what to say anymore about it. I was listening to Daniel Schmachtenberger and Nate Hagens and Nora Bateson in Sweden, talking to this organization up there that support entrepreneurs who do good things, I guess. And their message is dire, actually, on so many levels, but I've always seen it that way for at least 18 years or so. So it's nothing new for me to hear it, but I've noticed that a lot of people are taking the gloves off and just telling it like it is. Schmachtenberger said, I'm not a catastrophist, I'm a very positive, optimistic person, hopeful person, but I see what I see, and Nate Hagen said the same thing. Whatever the science says, whatever reality points to, that's what I'm going to articulate and talk about, because it's reality, because it's science-based, and so on and so forth. So it's time to produce art and make people smile and laugh and make people think in that way, and do your best over the coming years to enjoy life. I just can't, nothing I'm running into anywhere is making me think that anything's going to change in terms of geopolitics and socioeconomics and global culture, globalism. I don't think the right wing has many ideas for what they want. You can build walls around communities or countries, be exclusive, be jingoistic, be insular and pure culture, whatever you want to do. You can try that. But things are integrated so much right now, and global capital is still the boss. It rules everything, and it's coded to rule everything, which is why we're seeing Germany fall to pieces now, because they had to follow Uncle Sam, because Uncle Sam coded the rules-based order. And so if Uncle Sam wants to push for a war, they're going to push for a war until somebody does something, as usual. And then they're going to go all in. I don't know why people can't see that. You know, the MIC is a very powerful group of global corporations that controls a lot of capital and resources. And there are lots and lots of people and agencies and governments involved with these big businesses. And they're worth billions, maybe $1 trillion, right? And a lot of people who have these wonderful careers depend on these corporations. So nothing's going to stop it, right? It's funny Biden's going to talk to Xi now, and I don't know what they're going to talk about. I mean, does Xi Jinping think Biden can even think? You know, his handlers are going to be there. He's going to be kind of zoned out, you know, a puppet for these corporate interests. Yanis Varoufakis was talking about cloud capital. So that's a problem with Germany as well. They don't have cloud capital, which means they don't have the tech giants that run the cloud and all the applications and the businesses and the data, the big data that runs on the cloud. And, you know, so they can't just shift, deindustrialize and shift into the cloud economy. So, you know, they have to be a satellite of Uncle Sam, or they have to deindustrialize so the right wing comes back and they all decide they're going to do some kind of limited in-country blood and soil thing. Who knows? But yeah, go ahead, dream about that. Maybe that's going to be fun. I don't know. But also he was talking about being an internationalist, not a globalist. Okay, internationalist, that's fine, you know. But how do we define these internations? Everybody's looking for an identity. You know, what is my country? What is my culture? And everywhere I go around the world, I just see it becoming more homogeneous, which is what I was talking with my friend Mick about the other day, Hahn, the philosopher in Germany. I've seen the homogenization for decades and lamented it, having been to Bali in the 70s and Japan in the 60s, and seen how it changed over the decades as I went back over the course of decades. So I know there's a difference in culture where you are and so on, but so much is homogenized and similar. Starbucks, you know, it's a franchise. We watch the same stuff, and yeah, I really get that idea that the other, something different, something unique about ourselves and other people is being washed away in a torrent of narcissistic, self-obsessed consumerism. So, yeah, now I'm hearing it more and more from various different people. Read so many books on these kinds of subjects. And basically I feel like, hello, little buddy. He's a cute dog, came to visit. So nothing's making me think that there's anything out there that's going to make a difference. You have your donut economics or whatever you think you're going to have, and it's really not going to change anything because it's never going to be picked up. There are so many people that are just completely awash in the propaganda and the mindset of the mainstream and the mainstream economy and so on. And they can't imagine anything different. So you're going to have pockets of people getting excited about this, that, and the other thing. And they're all going to be bumping up against everyone, and everyone's going to be obsessed with their own thing that they're doing, looking for money, looking for financing, looking for donations, looking for human resources, other kinds of resources to push their thing. We're all going to have really wonderful mission statements and manifestos and what have you, like I have on my website. You know, but who's really going to get together and push for something? And you have to consolidate power. Without power, you can't do anything. So one way or another, whether it's through mass movements or, activization or organization or whatever, you have to build some kind of a cult that's going to have the power to to inspire people to do something different, to show them another way. You don't need another way. To hell with the Amazon rainforest. It's not going to disappear tomorrow or in a decade. It might take 30 years. So who cares, AMOC, if it stops, if that circulation system stops? You just grow champagne grapes in Ireland, or whatever you think is going to happen. But it's highly unpredictable. We just don't know. So in the meantime, we're going to pedal to the metal, right? If you can make tons of money and have tons of fun and get tons of really cool stuff and get status and attention and have your vanity assuaged. Get your dark triad on or whatever. Kick ass, take names. I don't know what to say about it anymore, so I think I'm not going to say anything about it. Probably just from now on, other than touring around the Iberian Peninsula kind of videos, talking to friends about these things. I'll just let it go, because I've been talking about it for years. It really doesn't matter. I'm working through things for myself, talking to the camera as a kind of exercise of trying to articulate what I was thinking to somebody, because for several years I haven't had anyone to really talk with because of COVID and other things. I look forward to talking to Mick again soon, and some other friends. I might talk to some friends about John Vervaeke and his projects. They're quite interesting. Again, ritual and community action or community activities or building, these kinds of things, within some kind of tradition or discipline or some collective sense of doing something together, is something we all need. And we should get busy trying to build that if we don't have it already. And I don't know, maybe you all are doing just fine, in terms of all that. But it seems like people are noticing or talking about that being a challenge these days. Building community, connecting with people on a deeper level, listening to people, to one another, having deeper understanding, communication, working on developing knowledge, awareness, wisdom, as opposed to just regurgitating things that we're constantly exposed to, which is shallow. So we're going to talk about the second part of Stephen West's conversation about Han. He does it so well in such a short period of time. We won't regurgitate it, but we just recommend that you listen to it if you're interested, and we'll give you our take on what we think about some of the main points that this philosopher Han makes in his writings. So I hope you're doing fine. The leaves are changing here, but it's warm. It's so beautiful. It smells wonderful. It's like 28 degrees. The shade is just gorgeous. It's really nice. I don't know how cold and wet the winter's going to be, but last year it was fairly wet, but it wasn't that cold. Anyway, that's just weather. But things are changing, and they're going to continue to change, and there's nothing any of us can do to stop it. So we might as well at least be aware of the kind of changes we can expect. And maybe if we don't have ideas about alternatives to, living the way we're used to, accustomed to, then at least we can probably prepare psychologically and mentally for things being a bit different in the economy, in the supply chain, in the food chain, these kinds of stuff. And politics, obviously, there's going to be more and more turmoil, I think. People are going to be bumping heads, bumping up against each other with solutions, ideas that they have. And they're not always going to agree. So there may be a bit of turmoil. It seems so, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's all just Steven Pinker Wonderland and I'm just a weirdo. But if I'm anything like Han, I'm very proud to be a weirdo. Very proud. So that's my pride, being a weirdo. Anyway, if you watch this video, thanks for watching. Click like or something. Buliam out. This place is cool. I stopped to get a water. Big restaurant. Wow, that was a beautiful ride. I can't explain the weather. There are things out there that smell like chocolate mints and all kinds of other like pumpkin spice pie smells, flowers, apples, pears. It's just so rich. Flowers, it's crazy. And then they had National Day on Friday, Portugal. So a lot of people are barbecuing and hanging out at home. So wherever you go, you smell barbecue. It's really amazing. Made me hungry. Made me want to come back and barbecue. And people were house harrying or something, maybe. There was several groups out on walks, but they didn't look like they were on a pilgrimage. Looked more like they were just on a roundabout walk. So that was interesting. Yeah, it's a long holiday weekend here in Portugal. So it was nice to get out and about, and I'm loving this summer weather in October.